Good day, everyone. Our topic today is all about review of selected grammar instruction theories and approaches. So these are the structuralism theory, the behaviorist theory, the natural approach, systemic functional grammar, and communicative language teaching. But we will just tackle about natural approach, the systemic functional grammar, and the communicative language teaching. So first, let us discuss what is natural approach. Natural approach is it concentrates on the learner's innate abilities to develop the language inductively. According to Noam Chomsky hypothesis, which is the innateness hypothesis, we are all born with an innate knowledge of grammar that serves as the basis for all language acquisition. So we can acquire if we are exposed on that language. Natural approach is based on Stephen Krashen's language acquisition theory, which is the SLA theory or the second language acquisition theory. He distinguished between two language development processes, which is the learning and the acquisition. So what is the difference between learning and the acquisition? So when we say acquisition, it requires a meaningful interaction in the target language and natural communication in which the speakers are concentrated not in the form of utterances but in the form of communicative act. But what we say about learning, it is a conscious process which results in conscious knowledge about the language. If we're talking about the rules and the grammar of a language, we are learning. In addition, Krashen and Terrell suggest that acquisition occurs only when the learners understand messages through comprehensible input. When we say comprehensible input, it is what the teacher gives to the students. And in order to the input to be considered as comprehensible, the student needs to know what is being asked or given. They also suggest that progressive natural approach is learner-centered and gives the students a possibility to develop communication skills rather than learning about the target second language. Grammar instructions can also help learners confirm acquisitions for the purpose of language appreciation. Next is content-based instruction or the CBI. It teaches language in general and grammar in particular through the content of academic subjects, which is comprehensible input, such as mathematics, history, and biology. Next is Systemic Functional Grammar or the SFG, which was developed by Michael Halliday. So the Systemic Functional Grammar, it deals with sets of choices or options available in the language system for communication and how those options could be organized. When we say systemic, it offers structures, system of choices, sets of options for making meaning. But when we say functional, it is applicable in real life. Systemic functional grammar is a model which explains that language is a system that we can use to make meaning for a whole range of purposes. I said a while ago that systemic functional grammar is a set of choices. Why? Because we are always choosing the words or expressions that we want to use according to the context or to the meaning that we want to make. Next is communicative language teaching or the CLT. So the CLT is based on the idea that learning language successfully comes through having to communicate real meaning. When the learners are involved in real communication, their natural strategies for language acquisition will be used, and this will allow them to learn and how to use the language. Therefore, CLT is a theory that language is communication. CLT is the most recognized approach in language teaching, and the goal of the CLT is to develop communicative competence. In conclusion, the approaches with their respective methods fall into three main categories, and these are the traditional structural approach, the psycholinguistic generative formal approach, and the social linguistic functional approach.